In the beginning, before the concept of time itself was etched into the fabric of existence, there existed a realm so vast, so radiant, that no mortal mind could fully comprehend its glory. This was the heavenly realm, a place where light was not merely a phenomenon but a living, breathing entity. It pulsed with the heartbeat of the divine, a rhythm that echoed through every corner of creation. The air was thick with the scent of holiness, and the ground shimmered like liquid gold, reflecting the brilliance of the throne that stood at its center. Upon this throne sat God, the creator of all things. His presence was overwhelming, not in a way that inspired fear, but in a manner that filled every being with an unshakable sense of awe and reverence. Around him, countless angels moved in perfect harmony, their forms glowing with ethereal light. They sang without ceasing, their voices weaving together in a symphony that transcended sound itself. It was a song of worship, of adoration, of eternal gratitude for the one who had given them life. But even in this place of perfection, a shadow had begun to form. Far below, on the earth, chaos reigned. Satan, once the most beautiful of all angels, had fallen from grace. His pride had consumed him, and in his arrogance, he had dared to challenge the Almighty. Cast out of heaven, he had taken with him a third of the angelic host, twisting them into grotesque parodies of their former selves. These fallen beings, now demons, followed Satan to the earth, where they spread lies, destruction, and despair. God, in his infinite wisdom, saw all of this. He saw the suffering of his creation, the pain of humanity as they fell victim to Satan's deceit. He saw the wars, the famine, the hatred that festered in the hearts of men. And though his love for his creation was boundless, he knew that the time had come to act. The deceiver could not be allowed to continue his reign of terror. And so, God turned to one of his most trusted servants, a being of immense power, cloaked in shadows, with eyes that burned like silver fire. This was the Dark Angel, a warrior of heaven, tasked with carrying out the most solemn of duties. The Dark Angel was unlike the other angels. Where they radiated light, the Dark Angel seemed to absorb it, their presence a stark contrast to the brilliance of the heavenly realm. Yet, there was no doubt of their loyalty, no question of their devotion to the Almighty. God spoke, his voice resonating through the heavens like thunder. It was a voice that carried the weight of eternity, a voice that could shatter mountains and calm storms. "Take the key to the abyss," he commanded. "Go to the earth, find the deceiver, and bind him. Let him be imprisoned for 1,000 years, so that the earth may know peace once more." The Dark Angel bowed low, their wings folding like a storm cloud. In their hand, a key materialized, a key forged from divine light, glowing with the power to lock away even the mightiest of evils. It was not a physical key, not in the way humans might understand. It was a symbol, a manifestation of God's authority, a tool that could unlock the deepest, darkest corners of creation. Without a word, the Dark Angels spread their wings and descended from the heavens. Their departure was like the passing of a storm, swift, powerful, and impossible to ignore. The other angels watched in silence, their songs momentarily stilled. They knew the gravity of the task that lay ahead, the significance of what was about to unfold. As the Dark Angel descended, the heavenly realm seemed to hold its breath. The light dimmed slightly, as if in mourning, and the air grew heavy with anticipation. For though this was a moment of triumph, it was also a moment of sorrow. The earth, once a paradise, had become a battleground, and the Dark Angel's mission was a reminder of how far creation had fallen. Yet there was also hope, for in the hands of the Dark Angel lay the key to redemption, the promise of a new beginning. The imprisonment of Satan was not merely an act of justice, it was an act of mercy. It was a chance for the earth to heal, for humanity to rediscover the light that had been all but extinguished. And so, The dark angel descended, their shadowy form cutting through the heavens like a blade. Below them, the earth awaited, its fate hanging in the balance. The battle between light and darkness was about to reach its climax, and the dark angel was ready to fulfill their divine purpose. The earth was a broken place, a shadow of what it had once been. Where there had once been lush gardens and flowing rivers, there were now barren wastelands and cracked, dry earth. The skies, once a brilliant blue, were now choked with ash and smoke, the sun barely able to pierce through the gloom. It was a world in turmoil, a world that had forgotten the touch of the divine. At the center of this desolation stood Satan, the architect of this chaos. He was a figure of terrible beauty, his form both captivating and horrifying. His wings, once white and radiant, were now blackened and torn, their feathers sharp like blades. His eyes burned with a cold, malevolent light, and his voice, when he spoke, was like honey laced with poison. He stood atop a mountain of rubble, the remains of a once great city, and around him, his demonic followers reveled in the destruction. "Do you see?" Satan roared, his voice echoing across the desolate landscape. "This world is mine. The heavens may have cast me out, but here I am king. I have turned their precious creation into a wasteland, and there is nothing they can do to stop me." His laughter was a sound that could chill the soul, a sound that carried with it the weight of countless sins. The demons around him joined in, their voices a cacophony of malice and glee. They danced and writhed in the firelight, their twisted forms a mockery of the angels they had once been. But their revelry was short-lived. From the skies above, a figure descended, a being of such power that the very earth trembled at their approach. It was the dark angel, their presence like a storm about to break. The air grew heavy, the flames flickered and died, and the demons fell silent, their eyes wide with fear. Satan turned, his gaze narrowing as he recognized the intruder. "You," he sneered, his voice dripping with contempt. "The Almighty's errand boy. What do you think you can do against me? I am eternal. I am unstoppable." The dark angel said nothing. Their silver eyes burned with a cold, unyielding light, and in their hand, the key to the abyss glowed with a divine radiance. They raised it high, and at once, chains of light erupted from the ground, wrapping around Satan's body. He struggled, his screams shaking the heavens, but the chains only grew tighter, their light burning into his flesh. "No," Satan roared, his voice filled with rage and desperation. "This cannot be. I am the morning star. I will not be bound." But the dark angel's voice was calm, their words carrying the weight of divine authority. "For 1,000 years you will languish in the abyss. Your lies will be silenced, your chaos undone. The earth will know peace, and your reign will end." The ground beneath them began to crack, the earth splitting open to reveal a yawning chasm filled with fire and darkness. The abyss was a place of utter desolation, a prison designed to hold the most powerful of evils. The chains dragged Satan toward it, his struggles growing weaker as the light of the key sapped his strength. "You think this is the end," Satan spat, his voice trembling with fury. "I will return. I will rise again. And when I do, I will destroy everything you hold dear." The dark angel's expression did not change. "Your threats are empty," they said. "For 1,000 years you will have no power, no influence. The earth will heal, and humanity will have a chance to rediscover the light." With a final, powerful gesture, the dark angel hurled Satan into the abyss. The chains dragged him down, his screams growing fainter as he was swallowed by the darkness. The pit closed with a deafening roar, and silence fell over the land. The demons, now leaderless, scattered in all directions, their cries of fear filling the air. But the dark angel paid them no mind. their task was complete. Satan was bound, and the earth was free. For the first time in centuries, the skies began to clear. The ash and smoke dissipated, revealing the sun in all its glory. The air grew fresh and clean, and the ground, though scarred, seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. The people of the earth, though they did not know what had happened, felt a change in the air, a sense of hope, of renewal. The dark angels stood alone, their shadowy form a stark contrast to the now peaceful landscape. They looked up to the heavens, their silver eyes glowing with a quiet resolve. "It is done," they said. "The deceiver is bound. The earth is free." And with that, they spread their wings and ascended into the skies, leaving behind a world transformed. With Satan imprisoned in the abyss, the earth began to heal. It was as if the very fabric of creation had been holding its breath, waiting for this moment. The skies, once choked with ash and smoke, cleared to reveal a brilliant blue expanse. The sun, which had been hidden for so long, shone down with a warmth that seemed to touch every corner of the world. The air, once heavy with the stench of decay, grew fresh and clean, carrying with it the scent of blooming flowers and new life. The people of the earth, though they did not fully understand what had happened, felt the change. It was as if a great weight had been lifted from their shoulders, a shadow that had loomed over them for generations suddenly gone. They emerged from their homes, their faces turned upward to the sky, their hearts filled with a sense of hope they had long forgotten. Children laughed and played in the streets, their voices ringing out like music. Families gathered together, sharing meals and stories, their bonds strengthened by the newfound peace. In the fields, crops began to grow again, their green shoots breaking through the soil with a vigor that had been absent for years. Rivers that had run dry now flowed with clear, sparkling water, their banks teeming with life. Animals that had hidden in fear now roamed freely, their calls and cries adding to the symphony of renewal. But amidst this rebirth, there was one who stood apart, a solitary figure, cloaked in shadows, their silver eyes glowing with a quiet resolve. It was the dark angel, the one who had brought about this change. They stood on a hill overlooking the restored land, their wings folded tightly against their back. Though their mission was complete, there was no celebration, no fanfare. They simply watched, their expression unreadable, as the world began to heal. The dark angel's thoughts were heavy. They had fulfilled their duty, but the cost weighed on them. They had seen the depths of Satan's malice, the destruction he had wrought, and the suffering he had caused. They had felt the heat of the abyss as they cast him into it, heard his screams of rage and defiance. It was a burden they would carry forever, a reminder of the battle between light and darkness and the sacrifices it demanded. Yet, there was also a sense of fulfillment. The earth was at peace, and humanity had been given a chance to start anew. The dark angel knew that this peace would not last forever, that the 1,000 years of Satan's imprisonment were but a fleeting moment in the grand tapestry of time. But for now, it was enough. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and gold, the dark angels spread their wings. The light caught on their feathers, casting long shadows across the ground. They looked up to the heavens, their voice soft but steady. "It is done," they said. "The deceiver is bound. The earth is free." From above, a voice echoed, a voice that carried the weight of eternity, yet was filled with warmth and pride. It was the voice of God, the creator of all things. "Well done, my faithful servant," he said. "Rest now, for the age of peace has begun." The dark angel bowed their head, their silver eyes closing for a moment. They felt the presence of the Almighty like a gentle breeze, soothing their weary soul. Then, with a single powerful beat of their wings, they ascended into the heavens, leaving behind the world they had saved, As they rose higher and higher, the earth grew smaller beneath them. The fields, the rivers, the cities, all of it became a patchwork of light and color, a testament to the resilience of creation. The dark angel's heart swelled with a quiet pride. They had done their part, and now it was up to humanity to carry the light forward. When they reached the heavenly realm, the other angels greeted them with silent reverence. There were no cheers, no applause, only a deep, abiding respect. The dark angel had fulfilled a task that few could have undertaken, and their sacrifice would not be forgotten. God's presence enveloped them like a warm embrace. "You have done well," he said. "The earth will know peace for 1,000 years, and the people will have a chance to rediscover the light. But remember, the battle is not over. The final victory is yet to come." The dark angel nodded, their silver eyes glowing with determination. They knew that their work was far from finished, that the battle between light and darkness would continue until the end of time. But for now, they would rest. They would find solace in the knowledge that they had made a difference, that they had given the world a chance to heal. And so, the dark angel returned to their place in the heavenly realm, their shadowy form blending seamlessly with the light. The earth, now at peace, continued to flourish, its people living in harmony with one another and with the world around them. But somewhere, deep in the abyss, a faint whisper could be heard, a promise of return, a vow of vengeance. The age of peace had begun, but the final battle was yet to come. And so, the story of the dark angel and the imprisonment of Satan came to a close, but not an end. For in the grand tapestry of creation, every thread is connected. Every action ripples through time and space, shaping the destiny of all that is, was, and will be. The dark angel's mission was complete, but the battle between light and darkness is a story without end, a cycle as old as creation itself. For 1,000 years, the earth knew peace. The people flourished, their hearts filled with hope, and their lives guided by the light. The scars of the past began to fade, replaced by the vibrant colors of renewal. Cities were rebuilt, forests regrew, and the oceans teemed with life. It was a time of healing, a time of rediscovery. The people, though they did not know the full story of what had happened, felt the presence of the divine in every sunrise, in every gentle breeze, in every act of kindness. But the peace was not eternal, for deep in the abyss, where the chains of light held Satan bound, a faint whisper could be heard. It was a whisper of defiance, of hatred, of unyielding malice. Though the chains were strong, though the key to the abyss was secure, the spirit of the deceiver could not be completely extinguished. He waited, biding his time, gathering his strength. The 1,000 years would pass, and when they did, the world would face a new trial. The dark angel, now resting in the heavenly realm, knew this truth. They had seen the depths of Satan's evil, felt the weight of his hatred. They knew that the battle was far from over, that the final victory would require more than chains and keys. It would require the unwavering faith of humanity, their ability to choose light over darkness, even in the face of overwhelming odds. And so, the dark angel watched over the earth, their silver eyes glowing with a quiet resolve. They did not intervene, for the people had been given the gift of free will. It was up to them to carry the light forward, to build a world where goodness and compassion reigned. The dark angel's role was not to lead, but to guide, to inspire, to protect, and to remind humanity of the power they held within themselves. As the years passed, the memory of the dark angel's deeds began to fade. The people told stories of a great hero who had saved the world, but the details became blurred, the truth mixed with myth. Yet, the essence of the story remained a tale of hope, of sacrifice, of the eternal struggle between light and darkness. And then, as the 1,000 years drew to a close, the whispers from the abyss grew louder. The chains that bound Satan began to weaken, their light dimming as the weight of his hatred pressed against them. The earth, though still peaceful, began to feel the stirrings of something ancient and malevolent. Storms raged where there had been calm, shadows lengthened where there had been light, and the hearts of men grew heavy with unease. The dark angel, sensing the change, rose from their rest. They stood at the edge of the heavenly realm, their shadowy form silhouetted against the light. They knew what was coming, knew that the final battle was approaching, but they also knew that they would not face it alone. For in the hearts of humanity, the light still burned a light that could not be extinguished no matter how dark the world became. And so, the stage was set for the next chapter in the eternal struggle. The dark angel, the earth, and all of creation stood at the precipice of a new age. The 1,000 years of peace had been a gift, a chance to heal and grow. But now, the time had come to face the darkness once more. The story of the dark angel and the imprisonment of Satan is not just a tale of the past. It is a reminder of the power of hope, the strength of faith, and the enduring battle between good and evil. It is a story that continues to unfold, a story in which we all play a part. For the battle between light and darkness is not fought in the heavens alone. It is fought in the hearts of men, in the choices we make, in the lives we lead. And though the road ahead may be long and difficult, the light will always prevail. The dark angel's mission was complete, but the story was far from over. The final victory was yet to come.